What's happening? So we're back again with the match review from our 1-1 draw with Hull this afternoon. Again, not the best performance in the world. Struggled in the main, I thought, all game. But we started the game. We made one change. Jack Clark came in for Pritchard, who we're led to believe got a little bit of a strain, so he wasn't put in the squad. But the main news obviously was Ross Stewart back in the team, back in the squad, along with Ballard, both on the bench. So as I said in my preview video yesterday, I was a little bit worried in case he wasn't going to make it. You know, was it a ploy to protect him before we sell him in January? But thankfully, like I said, I was hoping I was wide of the mark and he was back on the bench. So we started off, we had Patterson in goal, we had Gooch, O'Nien, Bat and Elise. We had Dan Neil, Corey Evans in the middle, and then we had Diallo, Embleton, Jack Clark and Ellis Sims up front. And you know, the first half was absolutely shocking. You know, two teams who were miles off it. You know, you can see why they have struggled. But we kind of came down to their level, I thought. Couldn't get our passing game going. We kept giving it away. And just, you know, the first half was a nothing really. It was just an absolute nothing. Very poor standard. And boring to watch, to be honest with you. And as we know, obviously we lost Danny Bat after about 9-10 minutes. So, you know, Dan Ballard came on, and Tony Mowbray after the game was longer than they wanted to give him, but obviously we had no choice because I think Elise was struggling as well. Didn't think he would make the full game. That's why I didn't bring Serkin on to start off with. So Ballard came on, and to be honest with you, he's probably our best player in the first half. Made a couple of good blocks, and he looked solid again, you know, as he did before he got injured. But let's say the first half was terrible. You know, I think Ellis Sims had one chance when he was put through, and he's took a shot that's gone miles wide. But after the game, you know, Tony Mowbray, his interview was kind of a strange one. You know, he kind of thought we dominated the first half, and if I'm honest, I don't know what game he's watching, because we far from dominated that first half, far from dominated it. So I was a little bit confused. You know, I used words like controlled the first half, and not for me at all. So the first half, you know, went in at 0-0, hoping that, you know, like the previous few games where we've had, you know, either a shit first half or a good second half, I was hoping that was going to be the case, because after an absolutely shite first half, I was hoping we're going to come out in the second half and kick on, you know, and take the game to them. But, you know, the main talking point after about 50 odd minutes was Embo's sending off. So, you know, there's a lot of kind of, you know, yes it was, no it wasn't. My thoughts, I don't think it was a sending off. However, I can see why he sent him off. You know, it was referees only seen it once. You know, when you see it live and when you see it, you know, in real time, it does look a nasty one. But when you slow it down, there wasn't really much in it. If anything, you know, it was a 50-50. They kind of both jumping at each other. Yes, Embo's foot was high. He did catch him, but was it a red card? I don't think so. But like I say, I can see why the ref has sent him off. It did look nasty in real time, but you know, the ref only gets one look at it. He's made his mind up, and kind of the double whammy is that Embo gets stretched off. Looks a bad one. You know, you can see when he's gone for the tackle, his kind of knees tucked up, and he gets kind of, you know, it's kind of an impact, and could be ligaments, it could be, you know, anything like that, but we wish him a speedy recovery. Having said that, he wasn't really affecting the game. But that's not to say you want to go down with 10 men, but you know, he wasn't affecting the game. And again, for me, he flatters to deceive a little bit. You know, he gives the ball away a lot. He does sometimes do these rash tackles. You know, did he need to make the tackle? Could he went in with his head? Did he need to go in that force? It was kind of in the middle of the field. It was, yes, it was a 50-50, but you know, as soon as you raise your studs, you're giving the referee a decision to make, and we've seen what's happened. So after that, obviously we're down to 10 men. We then make 3 changes. We saw Dennis Certain come on. Dennis Certain came on for Alicia. Roberts came on for Clark, and obviously Rosco came on. You know, and the kind of the reception he got from the fans was class. Great to see him back out there, and you know, he then gets and gets his goal. So against the run of play, you know, got down to 10 men. You know, they started chucking men forward, but we pinch it, and Roberts plays a ball over the top. Roscoe runs through, and if I'm honest, I'm not sure what the goalkeeper's trying to do. You know, the goalkeeper should have been out and just cleared it, but the goalkeeper's kind of backed off. And he's made Roscoe's, you know, mind up for him. He's even jumped up and said, yeah, I'll stick underneath, which he's kind of made his mind up for him. So, great to see him back. Great to see him back with a goal. I'd like to see him get a start now against Blackburn, because we looked a different team when he came on. Even with 10 men. No, Ballard was sticking, he was bringing them down, bringing people into play. And it was just great to see him out there. But then, you know, as in typical Southern fashion, we can't keep the lead. So with 15 minutes left, we then going to concede the goal. You know, a ball in the box, the lads jumped up, got his foot of it, gone in. Little bit of confusion, was it a Gooch own goal, or was it their player? I think it was their player. I think he got his foot up before Gooch did. And then we kind of did well to hang on from there. You know, Ballard was all cramped up. Understandable. Now he's been out that long. So, you know, in the end I was pleased with a point, but disappointing again to take the lead and not being able to hold on to it. So player ratings, you know, Patterson, you know, I didn't really have much to do. You know, obviously the penalty, they got a penalty in the first half that I forgot to mention. Obviously it was, because it was that much of a bad penalty, it was kind of in the second half, it was easy forgettable. Went past the post. I think Patterson would have saved it anyway if it had been on target. So Patterson, probably a 6-7 out of 10. So he lasted 5 minutes or 9 minutes, whatever it was, and went off. So let's hope he's not going to be able to for a long time, because he's been one of our best players this season. Luke 9, I thought again he was solid at the back. I thought he did really well. Again, getting stuck in. There was one tackle he made in the first half when the ball came in, and he kind of hooked it in front of Estupiñán. I don't know how he did it. It was absolutely, you know, amazing clearance. So, you know, fair play to him. But again, he looks solid. He's not afraid to get stuck in, not afraid to put his head in. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Gooch. If I'm honest, I thought Gooch had a tough game today. I was impressed with that Ryan Longman for them. I thought he had a good game. He had Gooch on toast most of the game. You know, I was beating him and putting crosses in, and some lovely crosses as well. So Gooch, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I thought he struggled today against Longman. Alicia as well. Alicia kept giving the ball away. You know, I didn't look comfortable at all. Whether he, I think he was carrying a knock, but if he was carrying up, why didn't he put Certain in from the start? I didn't understand it. We've got a left back there, and I think it's time that we now play our full backs where they should be played. So Alicia, I'm going to give him a 6 as well. Dan Neil and Corey Evans, you know, it's a tough one, because I like Dan Neil, but he just keeps kind of missing in games, and he'll have like he'll have 5-10 minutes of good play, but the rest of the game, you didn't see him. He's non-existent. He gives the ball away, or he makes stupid tackles. Corey Evans is a little bit better. You know, he tries to get on the ball and he slows things down and tries to dictate things a little bit, but we need somebody in the middle who can dictate a game, who can grab hold of the game by the scruff of the neck and, you know, and dictate play, and we haven't got that, and we haven't had that for years, if I'm honest. And that needs to be addressed, because we've got nobody who can fit in there. Yes, Bar has showed glimpses of that, but he's only young and he's not given a regular start. Just that experienced head in the midfield, you know, big physical presence, and Dan Neil is not that. So I'm going to give them both 6 out of 10. Diallo, again, he was offered again today. You know, his touch was a little bit lacking. He had one shot in the first half that went wide. But apart from that, struggled to get into the game. Embleton, like I've said, for me, you know, it's awful to see him get injured, but for me, he wasn't in the game. He kept giving the ball away, and he's just not good enough, I don't think, for this level. It's tough to say, you know, he's a local lad, but he's just not. I don't think he's cut out for the Championship. I think League One's his level. Again, shows little flashes of brilliance, but, you know, other than that, he gets out of the game and gives the ball away. So I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Jack Clark wasn't too bad today. I thought he tried to get on the ball, try to take his man on. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Sims, probably a 6 the same. You know, he was trying to be physical, but, you know, he kind of fed on scraps all game, and the one chance he had, he blazed it wide. So 6 out of 10. The subs that came on, so Ballard, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he, you know, considering the amount of time that he's been out, I thought he did really well. He looked solid. He put, you know, a couple of good blocks in the first half. Yes, he gave the penalty away, but, you know, that shit happens. Sometimes when you're a defender. Was a bit of a flying in, but he learned from that. But apart from that, you know, he was getting stuck in, winning headers, looked strong, trying to play the ball off from the back. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Certain didn't really get into the game when he came on, probably a 6 out of 10. Roberts created the goal, and I think he broke forward just at the end when he could have had a shot and didn't. But for setting the goal, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10, 6.5. And Rosco, you know, great to see him back, like I've said, came on, you know, one chance, one goal. Great to see the big man back out there, so I'm probably going to give Ross Stewart man of the match. You know, actually, you know, to show character for coming off the bench, down to 10 men, he gets a chance and stick it away, and that's the reason why we should be giving him the contract. Just, you know, give him, as long as his demands are not really excessive, give him what he wants. Just we've got to keep him. If we lose him, we're fucked. You know, no bones about it. If we do lose him, then we're fucked. Going to be a poor second half of the season. I know we've been picking up points while he's been out, but you can see the difference he made when he came on today. We looked at a different team, and that was with 10 men. So that's my player ratings. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. But overall, like I said, a 1-1 draw is not the end of the world, but against a team that was struggling, I just feel we should be going down there to dominate more and look to dictate things a little bit more. And I'm like I say, I'm bewildered by Tony Mowbray's comments after the game to say he thought we controlled it and thought we dominated the first half, because I'm sorry, but you watch a different game to me, because I thought we were really poor the first half. But he's the footballer man. You know, us fans just give our opinions. We only, you know, we're all managers on the touchline and we give our opinion. But for me, I just thought it was two poor teams together today. But like I say, let us know what you thought below. Put your thoughts in the comments. But again, fans, absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. You know, you could hear them all the way through. They were loud, and the reception Rosco got when he came on was absolutely out of this world. You know, so fair play to each and every one of you. Hope you have a safe trip back. Best of luck to Hull for the rest of the season. You you know, I hope Liam Rosenior does a good job. Hope he gets you out of the bottom and gets you clear of safety. You know, it looks like you're definitely playing for him, which is good. So, you know, best luck to you, all fans, for the rest of the season, and see you at the end of the season. Hopefully, you know, we'll both be safe by then. But watch out for the match preview for the Blackburn game on Boxing Day. That'll probably be out probably Wednesday, Thursday. But thanks for watching. If you don't mind, please like and subscribe if you don't already. Much appreciated. But until then, take it easy, stay safe, and we'll speak soon. Ta-da.